Welcome to today's wonderful session. And this is Shweta Roy, your English master teacher at Vedantu. And today we will be dealing with a wonderful lesson, which is a truly beautiful mind from your NCRT English class 9. Yes. And before beginning with today's session, I would just want you to answer one simple question. What, according to you, can be considered a beautiful mind? So when you basically hear this title, a truly beautiful mind, what are the images that come in your mind, or what are the thoughts that come in your mind, and what according to you can be the qualities of a mind which can be considered beautiful? Please do comment right away before you start off with the session so that we can relate it later with the session. Okay, so moving on, a gentle reminder though to those who have still not subscribed, please, this is just for you guys. You can have this wonderful experience of joining us and becoming a part of the Vedantu family by Vedantu Pro subscription. The link is available in the description box. Use the teacher code SWRPRO and the discount price is 2699. So I hope you will very soon be joining us, right? You can use these steps. The first step is select grade, the second one is select target, the third one is get subscription, and the fourth one is choose your plan. And use the coupon code SWRPRO to avail the discount price. And please do become a part of our family. So exciting offer for you, live into classes by India's best master teachers, personalized attention in class, full recordings of all classes along with notes, assignments, tests and more. And you will have complete curriculum, structured long-term batch which is completely in sync with your curriculum, all chapter-wise micro course and complete crash course. Then of course you also have test series, assignments, learning material, and the best part is you will be always getting performance reports. So definitely regular performance reports. So now let us begin with a truly beautiful mind. So guess who are we talking about? From this picture you can very well guess. So please do write in the chat box below. So let us begin with this wonderful chapter. So we will be dealing with, yes, of course, Albert Einstein. And before beginning the session, I asked you one question, that what according to you can be the qualities of a beautiful mind, right? So I hope you have answered that question by now. And now we will move ahead with the session and look at what can be a truly beautiful mind. We will know about the amazing personality, the amazing scientist, a great inspiration for all of us, none other than our favorite Albert Einstein. Now, Albert Einstein was a German-born theoretical physicist, as you know, who developed the theory of relativity. So he actually developed this theory of relativity, one of the two pillars of modern physics. His work is known for his influence on philosophy of science. So definitely he has immensely contributed in the world of physics, in the world of science. So let us learn about this personality who has immense contribution in whatever we are today. So session 1 will be analyzing the story and also will be dealing with important questions. And please do visit this session before you come to the Menti session. So Menti session, most of the students make a wild guess. Please do not do that. If you want your names to, come up to the leaderboard, and of course, if you want your preparation to be absolutely comprehensive, do watch all the sessions. This is a complete package for you. Okay, so we have prepared this with lots and lots of effort. So yes, please do watch these sessions so that you can, prepare yourself for the exams. Absolutely. So if you watch this session as well as solve the Menti quiz, then of course 90% of your preparation is guaranteed, right? So please do watch, and of course don't forget to hit the like button, and yes, subscribe to the channel so that all the notifications are there on time and you get your 100% uh, you know make your preparations better and better day by day, right? So this is for free. Just subscribe and hit the like button. It doesn't cost anything, right? Okay, so Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm without any indication that he was designed for greatness. Of course, he was just a baby boy, normal baby boy like everyone. So we did not know when at the time when he was born that he would become the Albert Einstein that we know today, right? Now, surprisingly, till the age of 2.5 years, he couldn't even speak. And when he starts speaking, he used to speak every word twice. So that was a great concern. That was a matter of great concern for his parents. Oh my God, the child is not speaking. And when he actually started speaking, he spoke every word twice. So that was quite uncommon, right? So his playmate considered to be boring. So he was quite considered like he was considered to be as a boring child, right? He was quite different from the other child, so other children. So his playmates said that he's boring uncle. Okay, that is what they said. And yes, about his speech, there is another interesting fact that was given in your book, in your text, that when he actually said the first statement on the dinner table, he said, "The soup is too hot." That was the first statement that he said. When his parents asked, "Oh my God, you have actually said something, so why were you not speaking so long?" So what he said was, "So long everything was right, I didn't feel the need to speak." So that is quite interesting, and that is quite a witty answer from a little boy, right? So his mother thought that he was crazy because of the abnormally large size head. So his head was actually too large. That was quite unusual. So his mother thought that this is not a normal child. Okay. Who knew that he would be so famous? He would be the Einstein. At school also, his master regarded him as good for nothing. He said that he will never be able to do anything. He will not be able to make his living on his own. He would not be able to join any profession. So his teacher used to discourage him every time, right? Now, question for you: who had these opinions about Einstein? So please do comment right away in the comment section. He was boring, number one. He was stupid and would never succeed in life, number two. And he was a freak, number three. So who had these opinions? Very simple questions. If you had paid attention throughout, then definitely you will be able to answer these questions. Moving ahead, he proved all of them wrong. Yes, so we can definitely be inspired by this personality. Even when we are discouraged, we are demotivated by everyone in our life. We have to give our best. We have to prove our best because everyone is born with some talent. It is not that maybe somebody is not so good in studies, maybe he is good in something else, right? So God has bestowed a talent in every individual. No one is born without any talent, right? So it's on us that we need to explore our talent. We need to find out, recognize our talent, and move ahead and prove the world wrong. So never give up. Prove your enemies wrong. Actually, it is the enemies, like not enemies, I would say. It is the people who discourage us. They give us strength. Okay, so take the discouragement positively and prove the people who actually demotivate you, who actually discourage you, who say that you will not be able to do this. So take inspiration from this man, this personality, Albert Einstein, who proved all of them wrong, right? Okay. At the age of 6, at the insistence of his mother, he learned to play the violin, and he became a gifted violinist. So when his mother insisted that he should play a violin, he started learning, and finally he mastered the art so well that he became a gifted violinist. At the age of 15, he moved to Munich. He did not feel comfortable with the strict discipline at the school and left it. So this actually schools were at that time, it was not like today's schools. They were quite, at that time education was considered as, authorization of the teacher. It was not democratic. Today the education has become, schools have become quite democratic in nature. All the educational institutes have become quite democratic in the fact that the students also play a major role. But earlier it was not like that. The teacher was the authoritarian. The teacher was, a kind of dictator, right? So at that time, education was just passive listening of the students and active lecturing of the teacher. But now it is not like that. Now it is, a two-way process. So at that time, it was kind of, the schools were very strict in that case, that the students had no right to ask anything. Um, so in that case, he did not feel comfortable in that strict area, which reminds me of another personality who also was quite, he felt quite repulsive about the school atmosphere. That is the famous personality Rabindranath Tagore. He was also not at all comfortable with the restrictive atmosphere of the school. He thought that school was like a jail, and he also stopped going to school. And he developed his own school later on, which was actually in open space amidst nature, right? So he also, Einstein also left school, so he was a school dropout because of the strict enforcement of the discipline at school. On completing his schooling, he joined the university at Zurich because the atmosphere there was more liberal and accepted new ideas and concepts. So his school atmosphere was very strict, very restrictive, very narrow minded. But when he joined the university at Zurich, it was quite liberal and it accepted the new ideas, that concept. So he was, Einstein was a very innovative person. He was little different. He was a gifted child, so he was a little different from the other normal children, and he had innovative ideas. He had innovative concepts. So his the school atmosphere was not at all, open to all these ideas and concepts which he tried to develop or he tried to propagate. But the university at Zurich was quite liberal and accepted his new ideas and concepts. He showed interest in physics and mathematics. So we all know this, that he developed the theory of relativity, which is relatable to the theory of this, relatable to physics. So he showed great interest in physics and mathematics. And then he met a fellow student, Mileva Marek, at the university. She was also very intelligent. Later on, they married. They got married and they also had two sons. But unfortunately, the marriage did not survive because it's given in the text that Mileva, she became an unhappy, this intelligent girl after marriage, she became an unhappy housewife, and finally they had lots and lots of quarrels, lots and lots of fights. So yes, their marriage couldn't survive and finally they were divorced. Now explain the reasons for the following. You have to explain. Okay, Einstein leaving the school in Munich for good. So why do you think that Einstein left the school and joined university? And why was it good? What good was it? Okay. Einstein wanting to study in Switzerland rather than in Munich. Einstein seeing Mileva and Ali, seeing in Mileva and Ali. Why? Why do you think that Mileva was a maid to her? Right? And what do these tell you about Einstein? This is an important question that you need to answer right now. Okay, so these are the reasons, and like these are the these are the happenings in Einstein's life, and what do these happenings in Einstein's life tell you about the personality Einstein? Okay, so fourth question is the most important question. You need to answer that, right? Okay, after completing his education, Albert worked as a technical expert in the patent office at Bern. So this is just about his life story, right? After he completed his education, what did he go? Where did he go? He worked as a technical expert in the patent office at Bern. Here he worked secretly on the idea of relativity. So instead of actually working for the office, he was developing his own theory that was on his idea on relativity. In 1915, he published his paper on special theory of relativity, followed by the world famous equation E is equal to mc square. So all of you guys, experts in physics, you should be knowing this. E is equal to mc square. So we all know this theory. From where this theory came, actually it was a contribution of none other than Einstein. So yes, he actually came up with the most famous equation, that is E is equal to mc square. In 1915, he published his theory paper on general theory of relativity, in which he gave an absolutely new definition of the concept of gravity. Okay. So first of all, he came up with this theory of E is equal to mc square, and then he also gave, new theory on the concept of gravity. During 1919, what happened during the solar eclipse, his theory came out to be accurate and revolutionized physics. So he brought a revolution in the world of physics when during the solar eclipse, his theory came out to be accurate and exact. Okay. Then in 1933, so these are important happenings. So we have taken all the important happenings of Einstein's life. So please do take note of these important happenings. These are very important for your exam as well. Okay. So in 1933, he emigrated to the USA as Nazis has come to power in Germany. So remember, he was at Munich, right? So at that time, Hitler, he came to power, and he did not want his findings and research to be used for destruction. So from here, we can also come to the conclusion that he was a great scientist, but at the same time, he had a great heart. And that is why we can say a truly beautiful mind is really justified. So he was not only having a truly beautiful mind, but also a great heart, a big heart. So he did not want all his theories to be used for destruction, right? So that means, because many of the scientists we see that they become like in the scientific sci-fi movies, or in like movies similar, or novels, many of the novels which deal with these scientific discoveries and all, we have seen that many a times the scientists, they become very self-obsessed, obsessed with their own work, but they forget to think about the humanity at large. But Einstein was quite different from all these scientists. He was not only a great scientist, but also a great person, because he thought about the humanity at large. So he was filled with humanism as well, right? So he was a great, he was a mature person, right? In that case, he did not want to use these scientific discoveries for destruction. So we, in this world also, this is quite relevant. We can see how the science and technology is used against mankind, right? So that is why we say that we do need literature in our life. Without literature, the world is going to end. The world will be absolutely dry, because the human beings are using science and technology for, they are misusing science and technology rather than using it. So it can bring the world to disaster. We are already facing, we are already in the midst of a crisis because of the science and technology's misuse, right? So that is why literature is very important, so that it gives the people the sense of morality, the sense of doing right and wrong, which Einstein did have. Okay. And then in 1938, when Germany discovered the principle of nuclear fission, he was the first person to write the American president about the dangers of atomic bombs. So yes, atomic bombs, danger of use atomic bombs or these nuclear weapons. These are what? These are misuse of science and technology if they are used against a nation. So definitely, when Germany discovered the principle of nuclear fission, of course, atom bombs could be now made. Now, so therefore, Einstein warned the American president Roosevelt against the atomic bombs use, and he said that how dangerous it could be. But what happened? We'll see that. First, answer this question. Why did Einstein write a letter to Franklin Roosevelt? Right now in the chat box. Okay, guys? And now we will see what happened next. Next happened Nagasaki and Hiroshima, sadly, unfortunately. 1945, this was the First World War, yes. When America dropped atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, he was deeply hurt and wrote to the United Nations for the formation of a government to prevent reference of such destruction. So he was really very shaken up because he had warned against the use of these atomic bombs. And America, what did it do? It dropped bomb. It dropped atomic bomb in 1945 in during that First World War on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. These were the two cities in Japan. So that was a major, this incident. After this incident, Einstein received a major, setback. He was deeply shaken because of this cruel and ruthless incident of completely destroying these two cities of Japan. And therefore, he also wrote to United Nations to actually form a world government so that these kind of destructive incidents does not happen further. Okay. How did Einstein react to the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki? A very important question for your exam purpose. So I think you should answer this, and I think you can now answer this very well. Moving ahead, what happened? He spent his days later in politics advocating peace and democracy. So, yes, he was a very mature person. He advocated peace, he advocated democracy. He was totally and completely against war and destruction, which causes mass scale butchering of human beings. He was completely against this. He died at the age of 76 in the year 1955. And the question is, why does the world remember Einstein as a world citizen? Very important question and a very pertinent, and definitely we can get great inspiration from this immensely wonderful personality called Einstein. Which values does the life of Einstein teach you? So, what are the values of life that Einstein has taught you? This is a very important question, and I really want all of you to answer this in the comment section. I would definitely read this before we start with the mentee in the next session. I would definitely see, I would be glad to see that what message actually you are taking back when you are reading about this great personality. So it's not just about knowing a person and getting inspired. It's about a positive message that we take back from this lesson on Einstein. So please do tell me, what values have you learned from this very lesson, from the personality of Einstein, and how are you going to incorporate that in your life? And another important question which I have come up with is, what researches and theories proved that Einstein was a true genius? So this is basically it's a long question which incorporates the entire session and all the important topics, right? So this is a very important question, and how was he rewarded for his scientific achievements? So Einstein was definitely rewarded for all his contributions, theoretical physics, especially for the law of discovery of the law of photoelectric effect. Okay, and Einstein also received the Nobel Prize in 1921 for his services to theoretical physics, and especially for his discovery of photoelectric effects. Einstein was subsequently given a number of honors and has been invited by the world's different nations. His mathematical genius definitely was it was praised in his in the journals, was often praised in the journals. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have liked this lesson and got greatly inspired by this amazing, wonderful personality. And now, by now, you have definitely understood what is actually a truly beautiful mind. So at the beginning of the session, I asked you to comment on this. So now, by now, you have you could easily relate to what can be a truly beautiful mind according to you. So please, I am waiting for your comments in the comment section, and definitely your comments would come up in the next session of Menti. So please do not jump to the Menti quiz without watching this video. This is just for you all, guys. And yes, do not forget to share your love. Keep sharing your love. Keep motivating us. We also need your motivation. So do subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you. See you again in the next session. Till then, bye bye.